Hello, everybody, and welcome here to the Wine with Jimmy channel. Thank you so much for clicking by. This channel is all about wine education, helping you get more from the world of wine. Many of my presentations follow key text and key syllabus of major wine qualifications. So if you are studying the world of wine, well done. It's going to be great for your studies, but if you are just an enthusiastic amateur, you are going to enjoy these videos as well. If you have a comment about this video or a question or potentially about Wine with Jimmy and the e-learning platform that I have, please do get in touch by leaving your comment or question below this video. Okay, let's rock and roll talking about the specific grape variety in the limelight tonight. And this is the Roussanne grape variety. You'll see it there in all of its glory on your screen. Now, if you are studying the level 3, this is a minor grape variety, which is mentioned only a handful of times across your text. But it is a good idea to have some background knowledge on where we may find this grape variety and what it can be in terms of a wine. So Roussanne, if you do have some knowledge, you might actually be quite into this grape variety. It has a bit of a following, and there are some certainly exceptional wines produced from this variety. Here you'll see my slide talking about some of its key pointers and then what it's like in terms of acid, body, and alcohol. Now, the Roussanne wines are typically sort of medium lemon in colour, so they have some good density in their appearance. They can also be sometimes gold as well, finding medium plus acidity and medium to high alcohol and medium plus body. Now, Roussanne is often actually very much coupled with Marsanne. I've heard other students of mine before say they are siblings, they are sisters, they are brothers. Roussanne and Marsanne go everywhere together. So Roussanne is certainly similar in colour and structure to Marsanne, but the wines tend to age quicker than Marsanne. Now, in the Rhône Valley, which is certainly a spiritual home for Roussanne, it is normally blended with other varieties, especially that sibling variety of Marsanne. So you'll find that happening in the Northern and Southern Rhône, but also things like Clairette and Grenache Blanc in places like the Southern Rhône. But also, there is a significant amount of single varietal now being produced. It's well known for being quite perfumed. It's hard to grow. So why we don't find too much of it is really because it suffers with many problems, such as shedding its blossom, restricting yields, things like mildew and rot. It's a grape that is actually very hard to grow. So what do we expect of this grape variety in terms of aromas and flavours? Often quite strong, so medium plus or pronounced, with things like pear, sometimes a little bit more sort of stone fruited, but then floral and perfumed certainly comes through with this grape variety. Where do we find it in the world? Well, it's really, as I mentioned earlier, spiritual home is the Rhône Valley, both north and south, highlighted in purple on your picture. But it extends also down to the south of France, so the Languedoc and Roussillon. Some of you will also know that it's also found in places like Savoie. But we'll focus on the north and the south of Rhône. So here you will see that I've identified at the top that Roussanne is found in places like Saint-Joseph, Crozes-Hermitage, and Hermitage. In these three AOCs, which are actually covered in the red shade of the map, they can make white wines from Roussanne, typically blended with Marsanne. So Saint-Joseph Blanc, Crozes-Hermitage Blanc, and Hermitage Blanc. But they're actually more famously, historically, we find that Roussanne and Marsanne are blended into Syrah for the red wines. And this is typically up to 15% of the blend can be Marsanne and Roussanne, a practice which is less common today, but has certainly been historically important. And that's what we're mentioning just here, just those additional considerations that you can have up to 15% Marsanne and Roussanne blended. Oh, Roussanne there, spelt incorrectly. This is what I like about my presentations. They're not as polished as a Bordeaux Chateau. They might have a little bit of rusticity, but added to that Syrah for good measure historically. But don't forget about the Southern Rhône as well, where we find some importance. Now, it's a grape that will be found in some of the whites down there, so maybe a Côte de Rhône Blanc or Côte de Rhône Village Blanc, and also things like Châteauneuf-du-Pape and things like Lirac, for example. I've actually highlighted here quite a famous plot. This is the Vieux Vigne, the old vine Roussanne vines at the famous Château de Beaucastel in Châteauneuf-du-Pape, and actually a bottle of it on the left-hand side, 100% Roussanne from exceptionally old vines, making quite an oily, unctuous but aromatic style of wine. Do look out for it. It's certainly a must-try Roussanne, and in fact might be some people's most highest quality epitome of Roussanne. And there's really not much of it grown elsewhere in the world. You could highlight a lot of the map for very small amounts and often really less than 100 hectares. But I've actually highlighted California and South Africa as two places that are focusing on a little bit more than others, certainly in single varietals and in blends. It's often used to add a bit of texture, a bit of acidity and aromatic into blends. In these places, and do look out for producers in South Africa, such as Blank Bottle, for example, that are making excellent examples of Roussanne blended. That's it for your grape video short on Roussanne. Thank you so much for the very short journey talking about this grape variety. Please do join me for another video looking at any of the other grape varieties. There's many of them, or any of my technical videos going through key regions or other topics in the world of wine. Once again, if you have a comment or a question, please do get in touch, and you can do so by leaving your comment and question in the video, in the description, which is below this video. You can try in the video below this description, but that might not work. Thank you very much. See you very soon. And if you are in the UK, come and say hello for a glass, or bottle. I've been Jimmy Smith. Thank you very much.